Well, as Indiana businesses and organizations of all shapes and sizes work to respond to social unrest and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, they're dealing with new realities in uncharted waters. In Indianapolis, Pacer Sports and Entertainment has unique perspective as it manages major professional sports franchises, world-class entertainment at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, which serves as one of Indiana's most visible and popular gathering spots. President Rick Fuson told me this week the organization is being very intentional, very forward and forceful about its response to social justice issues.
We certainly have a platform that a lot of others don't have. And there's a lot of businesses who care deeply about dismantling racism, but they don't have the platform. So in terms of our Pacers, in terms of Malcolm Brogdon, in terms of Miles Turner, in terms of TJ McConnell, in terms of Tamika Catchings and Erica Wheeler and Natalie Achanwa, who all have spoken out already about the fact that it is time that we have to dismantle systemic racism across our country. And here in Indianapolis, I think we have a platform that we need to do that. It's a marathon, we know, it's not a sprint, but we have to start now. And as I look at the community leaders like Dave Ricks and Tom Linebarger and the Indy Chamber and Visit Indy and CICP and CICF and the Urban League and promoter Amp Harris and the mayor's office and the city council and the NBA and the NFL all coming together at the same time. There's no better time to do this than now. And we want to be out in front in our city. We put together an inclusive excellence action committee. This is not just about words, it's about action. We have about 30 members of our staff. We've had some very tough discussions on our weekly town halls. And we're going to get to the bottom of how our employees feel about it and what we can do. We want to continue to be the leader in terms of diversity in our employees. Our last 8 hires at the VP or senior VP level have either been minorities or women. We think that's very important, and we would urge everybody to relook at themselves at this point and to do that. We also became one of the first members of the Indiana Racial Equity Fund that Lilly started with the Lumina Foundation, Scott Dorsey, the Herb Simon Foundation, the Pacers Foundation, et cetera. So we want to get right to it and make sure that we can make a difference in many different ways.
Rick, you've lived here your whole life. You've seen a lot, been involved in a lot. You mentioned all those organizations and some individuals all coming together. In your view, is this a watershed moment? I mean, is this really a turning point in many senses for the city of Indianapolis?
Well, I certainly hope it is for the city of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana and our country. I don't think there's, in my lifetime, obviously I lived through the 1960s, and those were very special moments as it relates to civil rights. But we dropped the ball. And this has to be the opportunity where it's, we've been given in our generation another opportunity, and we can't drop the ball now. So I absolutely think it is the right time. It is the time. We have to do right, and we can't sit back and let others do the work. We have to do the work ourselves today.
Fuson also talked about the challenges of reopening for business in terms of basketball and Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
As it relates to our business, obviously, we're going to go play in Orlando. The Pacers are going to play 8 games plus the playoffs, which is tremendous. The Fever are going to go to another spot in Florida and play 22 games and then the playoffs, and that's tremendous. And our 2K group, our gaming group, is playing now. But we're not ready to be open. There's no question about it. We don't know what the social distancing will be in the future. We don't know how this disease will continue to manifest itself. We have to count a lot on Dr. Box and Dr. Weaver, on Dr. Kane to tell us what's going forward. It was great the Speedway announced the other day that they're going to have 50% fans, and it's outside. We don't have the luxury of outside, so it's inside. So we're going to have to see what it is. We don't really know yet. We think we'll start our next season sometime in December. We have some shows who want to come in late in the year, so we're looking at that, and we'll be continuing to talk to all the folks. But I think there's a lot yet to be learned. We deal with the league all the time. We're on a number of committees across the country in terms of looking at what temperature should be taken, what kind of situations we should do in terms of masks, et cetera. So I think there's still a lot to be learned. And as you know, this is changing daily in the states that reopened and now are having a reoccurrence. So we'll have to see what it brings to us.
Pacer Sports and Entertainment President Rick Fuson.